Hello and welcome to everybody. It's an absolute thrill to welcome you to this day one clash, and no day, of course, engenders hope or optimism more than this one. Optimism which could dissipate at a rate most alarming or last all the way to the latter stages. We shall see. Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up and we'll be getting underway very soon. We have already started here. Who do you think this turns on, Jim?
Well, Peter, this guy Donnarumma really is a generational talent, Peter. I suppose you have to be good if you're a goalkeeper and your name's Gianluigi. He really has inherited the mantle from his namesake. There might be room for improvement with his kicking, but otherwise, he is nigh on perfect.
Yes, getting the best out of him will count for so much. Well, he has slightly undercooked that one.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
Now, can they get him away? Iwobi gets into some space.
Oh, that's a cracking ball. Too quick for defence and keeper.
Haaland chasing after it. So we're still where we started right now. That has ended up in no man's land. Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
And it's Iwobi. Looking to play him in. Now this could be a chance! Goal! One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
A 1-0 lead established.
It's so often the case with goal scorers, little influence, and all of a sudden, bang.
Adams.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
Engages and forces him off the ball. Now it's Haaland. Saliba kept his eye on it, and he's there. Iwobi.
We're seeing some really good pressure being applied here, Peter, particularly from those guys up front.
Yeah, and it just, I suppose, Jim, denies the others time and space.
Well, I would call it blanket suffocation. Every single player is committed to the press, and there's simply no way out.
He is through here! Ruben Dias attempts a clearance. Haaland. Oh, easy pickings there. Saka. Kudus. Now Saliba. It's a pretty loose pass. Iwobi. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Alexander-Arnold. Haaland. And the half-time whistle goes. Well, there were plenty of talking points in that first half, but just the one goal. It's still anybody's game here.
It's a dressing room that needs rousing at half-time because, in truth, they've not really been at it so far. If the pep talk works, we may see a very different side second half. We need to.
Substitution on the field. Number 9, Erling Haaland. Coming on to replace him is number 11.
Here we go again.
It's not easy being down in situations like this. I know it's an overused term, but you really have to play with courage. Be brave, and let's see where it gets you. You might just get lucky because of it.
Not pretty, but it gets the job done. Brzezinski. Defending was strong and firm. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. And he's going to have his name taken.
Substitution on the field. Number 18.
So, time for changes on both sides, actually. So a double change here, and both changes are offensive.
Yeah, and it looks like quite a shake-up to the front line. Interesting, we'll see how it develops. João Pedro really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
Rodri. And the return pass. Nicely weighted ball. No, it's come to nothing. Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing. And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. Now it's Diogo Jota. Oh, he's found support out wide. He gets... It's hit the upright. Well, he should have done better, and he knows it.
Well, the look on his face says it all.
Marmoush. And he was quick to react.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Oh, no joy this time. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, the time has arrived to start taking risks. They may well be happy just to level this.
He's had a shot! And he's heaved it away.
Well, that's certainly more like it. They can't let the intensity drop now, Peter.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
They just need to sort out their end product, and quickly.
Lovely pass, but can he get there? And no, that was never going to make it. And it's Brzezinski. Pass somewhat off target. Played out to the right. Bob. That's an imaginative pass. Oh, played through for the wide man.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Five minutes left on the clock. Vardiol. Jota.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
Now it's Haaland. There'll be a minute of stoppage time. And that is that. Well, that was tense. The two parties separated by the game's only really meaningful moment. Intriguing for the neutrals, unbearable, sometimes unwatchable for those with a vested interest.
With the owner of a blue car parked
Your reflections then, Jim?
It's just a bad day at the office, Peter. They look below par in all areas, and it has to be cause for genuine worry.
And all that remains for me is to thank Jim Beglin. That's it from us tonight. A very good evening to one and all. And so we reach a fork in the road. Fortunes can turn either way from this point. One path leads to where they all want to be, or at least a significant step closer to it. What doesn't bear thinking about is the alternative. It is time for the central characters to stand tall. Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game. Everyone involved is absolutely up for it. And already we're underway here. There is the supremely talented Jack Wilshere. I wonder what sort of a role he's going to have here, Jim.
Well, he's very versatile, so I suspect he might play a combination of deep-lying midfielder, but also get forward and be a box-to-box presence.
What do they say about him? A player with Spanish technique, but an English lion heart.
Not a bad combination.
Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
Oh, that's fabulous. Vardiol. Shot at goal! Now that has posed a few awkward questions.
Oh, it looked like he tried to give it some extra whip.
And here's Kudus. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. First quarter of an hour gone. Great vision. And he's in on... Shoots! It's run loose. Who's going to get there? Now, this could be a chance. Still goalless at the moment. Saliba. Aimed beyond the... Takes a shot! Oh, special! That is a special goal! Oh, it really is a finish of the highest order. It had to come! It just had to come! He had to have his say! And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
So we have had the first significant moment. It is 1-0.
Oh, he's just loving that. Certainly gives you a very unique feeling. Tremendous.
De Bruyne. Oh, easy pickings there. Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
Well, the pass wasn't good enough, and he knows it.
Well, that has not gone well. Lovely pass, but can he get there? And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. 1-0 the score. Oh, nicely intercepted. And that's put paid to a promising move. Saliba gets it away. And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Ødegaard, Haaland, and it's Wilshere. Liverpool finding their passes. And the first 45 minutes are up. Well, it's certainly simmered along nicely so far. Just the one goal in it, and it's all still very much up for grabs. Some first-half thoughts?
Well, I think it's a case of so far, so good. The boss has clearly done his homework, and I don't think he needs to change much during the break. Now they've got the lead, they can expect more of the same in the second half.
Leading 1-0 at the break. Whistle goes, and we start the second half. A solitary goal, that has been the crucial difference. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
Well, that was a period of possession which carried just about no threat at all. Pinches it off him, and it's Ødegaard. He's in plenty of space here. Lovely feet. Now it's Ødegaard. I think that's offside. Yes, it is. Vardiol has an approach to the game which is pretty much shoot on sight. Threads one in. He's in a great position here.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Well, they've got it back in a hurry. And that has put paid to that. Looking to play him in. Now there... And he shoots! Oh, it's come off the upright. Taken back almost at once. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
I think the manager's pondering his options as to whether to stick or twist Peter in view of the time remaining. He might have a tough call to make now.
Drilled in low. Oh, some are shouting for a corner, but the referee says goal kick. De Bruyne. You would think that now would be a good time to consider some changes.
Well, you would hope for some movement off the bench, Peter, knowing you get an extra sub in extra time.
And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
And that was very necessary. Referee's given a throw. Tries to pass it through. Kudus is a real chance!
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Now it's Kudus. He's in a good position here.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals. Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
That's a lovely, neat pass. He's one-on-one!
This usually is the time teams go into conservation mode.
That's a little off target. Knocks it into space. Haaland. Liverpool could have here their final chance. Desperate defending required here. Keeper has taken decisive action. And that is that. Perfect result, perfect outcome, a test passed with flying colours. Well, after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
From the manager's perspective, Peter, I don't think he could have asked for much more. Well, certainly result-wise. This is a game they wanted to win for so many reasons, and his players did a sterling job carrying out the instructions. Thoroughly enjoyable.
And that's where we have to end it. From me, Peter Drury, and my co-commentator, Jim Beglin, a very good evening to you all. Well, the premise of the tournament is simple. Every team, of course, is striving to make the latter stages. That's where they all want to be. No doubt these two harbour very similar ambitions. A good show here, absolutely crucial. Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up and we'll be getting underway very soon. And already we're underway here. One of the most eagerly awaited games in football. It never lets us down. Tony Adams, now there is a proper defender, Jim.
Well, not too many Englishmen can rival his leadership qualities, Peter.
He just had so many strengths. You could go on all day about him, couldn't you?
Well, the epitome of solidity, thanks to his winning mentality and ability to organise a back four. You don't argue with Tony Adams. You do what you're told.
Van Dijk gathers from the goal kick. Adams cuts out the pass. Now it's Son Heung-min. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. Oh, good read. And that's gone loose. Has a look and plays it forward. And he's picked out the run. And it's Son Heung-min! We've got a goal! One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer to it when it's applied like that.
They have what they wanted, the first breakthrough.
Well, he's certainly happy with that after what's been said in the build-up, you know.
The ball has bounced loose now, and he's cut it out. Looking for... Can he finish? And that is one way to get his defending done.
Well, look, they know they've got a height advantage, and it's time for them to use it.
That's really well cleared. And now they can spring out of defence. Aimed beyond the defence. Chips it through. He's picked his way through. And he shoots! Goal! Again, in a trice, and they are soaring! Well, was he ever going to miss that? Of course he wasn't.
Yeah, it's simply tragic defending when a renowned finisher is ignored. It's how he built his reputation.
So that's two now without reply.
To be expected, Peter. They've gone and stepped it up, something they've been threatening to do and will continue to do by the looks of it.
Long ball looking to counter. Oh, that pass isn't the best. Saliba. Well, that was a period of possession which carried just about no threat at all. Well, he has slightly undercooked that one.
Manchester United clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
Shot could be on. Just the goalkeeper to beat. He's gone for goal! Szoboszlai gets it away. And he's quick to snatch it back. Now it's Haaland. Saliba. Adams running with the ball. That's a pretty loose pass. And that pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Van Dijk makes the interception. Now that looks a decent ball. Takes a shot! He's scored! Deep into first half stoppage time, a crucial goal! And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
Referee's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time. Well, the scoreline at half-time, a fair reflection of things overall, you'd have to say that. There was certainly no lack of effort or endeavour in the first half. It is quite a game, breathless and laced with excitement.
Well, I think the message from the manager at half-time will be pretty simple, Peter. He's going to want them to play at a higher tempo, press more, higher up the pitch, pass quicker and entice the opposition out of position. He knows how crucial the next goal will be.
Well, the players definitely know they're in a derby. More of the same to come after the break, you can be sure of that. Very little in it. The score at half-time is 2-1. So off we go once more. Now it's Kudus. Jota is herring after that one. Oh, that's well spotted. And that's definitely not his best. Son Heung-min. Gvardiol. Son Heung-min in acres of space out wide. Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
Cleared without complication. Manchester United have the chance to go the other way. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Now it's Son Heung-min. Rosicki. Son Heung-min. Son Heung-min! Oh, it's fallen kindly here. Oh, fine stop from the keeper.
Foden actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Corner number 2 then. And he thumps it clear. And now a sudden chance to counter. Manchester United appear to be happy to let their front players stay up front all the time.
Well, it's signalling to the opposition that they're setting themselves up for the counter-attack. It's plain and simple.
And he's only too happy. Oh, he's been caught on it here! That's rather hopeful! That's a sharp pass. Now it's Kudus. That is ended up in no man's land. Closing in on the last quarter of an hour. Oh, that's an excellent interception.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away and eventually you might just get that little break.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it. Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
He can run onto that. He could be in here. They're urging him to shoot. Oh, the ball's come loose here. Adams gets rid without sophistication. I think we're just about done here. Oh, well measured. He's on it, chance for a shot! Decent enough try.
2 added minutes has been indicated.
And it's Rosicki. Oh, that looks a cracking ball.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Perfect result, perfect outcome. A test passed with flying colours. So, Jim, how do you reflect on what we've seen?
From the manager's perspective, Peter, I don't think he could have asked for much more. We're certainly result-wise. This is a game they wanted to win for so many reasons, and his players did a sterling job carrying out the instructions. Thoroughly enjoyable.
So thank you very much, Jim, for joining me. That brings us to the end of our coverage. So from us both, a very good evening. So it is that time again. Every team looks to write its own special script. Moments like this are to be savoured. Hopes are high. A good start, that is what they all want. There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. And we're underway. Who do you think this turns on, Jim?
Yeah, Jordan Pickford. He's a great all-round goalkeeper, Peter. Great at shot stopping and dominant in his box. He also gets counter-attacks going with his accurate long passes. The opposition should be a little wary of committing too many men forward to attack, because if it does break down, this guy can get them in trouble pretty quickly.
I'm thinking the same. He will be a central feature, no doubt. And he's intervened well there. It's gone in! He's put through his own net!
No, I've been there myself, and that's the last thing he wanted to happen. I really sympathise.
And that's it. And all that remains for me is to thank Jim Beglin. That's it from us tonight. A very good evening to one and all.
And we'd like to inform you now that the latest travel information is currently being displayed on the screen.